is here even before we were.
Oh,
Hey, we're
he's
live and somebody's
early.
already here. The Aquarium Cowboy, you are here. Welcome. Did you hear about us on Twitter or Facebook, or how did you find out before we started? I'm curious to know.
Also, can you see us? Because once again, we're not showing up on our
I don't even know if I'm in the
screen.
shot. Hey,
Little
Little Bob is
Bob.
here.
Hello, Little Bob.
Nice. Cool. We've already got our first light, too. We
You can
see
see
good.
us?
I wish
Okay.
we could.
Yeah, I don't know if we're in the shot or not, because I don't know why it doesn't show up on the
Am I in
screen,
shot?
but...
Ray's Blue Aquatics, hi. So, Little Bob, welcome back. Yeah, missing last two, partly because we did it at the wrong time. We did it at a different time.
We did. What do you guys want to talk about today?
Potato Dip's here, too. Okay. Well, let's see. I wanted to talk. Oh, we've got 6 people in the house.
Oh,
Very
good.
nice. I was trying to think of who is here. I mean, of what we were talking about. But you know what? Everything flew out of my mind. Ray's Blue Aquatics. Is this the first time here? Ray's Blue Aquatics for your first time here? I think it might be. Let's see. All right. So, we just lost like a bunch of people. What did I do?
What?
Little Bob says, I must say you have one of the most fabulous beards I've seen.
I think so, too.
Roger Dedham. Hi, Aquarimax. Okay, Roger's been here before. Welcome.
Okay.
All right. So we were going to talk about something that I forgot. I can't believe it. Why did I forget?
Do we have a critter news?
Oh, Pedro Gonzalo says, hi, first time watching you on YouTube. I've listened to your podcast on Stitcher and I love it.
Oh,
Great.
good.
Well, welcome. And Ray says, no, I have another channel that I use, but I've been a fan for a long time. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Cool. Well, welcome, Pedro and Ray's Blue Aquatics and everyone who is here. I think we're it's kind of going in and out as we're trying to stabilize the channel.
Do we have critter news?
Critter news. Well, I'm trying to think. Sean Meister is here. Good evening. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank on what I was going to talk about. I don't know why. But my Daphnia culture is going crazy. Little Bob says, wait, I can't see the character limit. Did they remove it? I don't know. Why doesn't someone give that a try and see if there is a character limit? I'm not sure how that works. But if anybody has critter questions about fish, about reptiles, amphibians, whatever, we're ready. Okay, we're gonna just go ahead and hit it. Fishhead 2925. I'm doing
long
this one. It's your turn.
Listener of the podcast and really been enjoying the live stream, so it's good.
Good. Thank you, Fishhead. We are trying to get the groove of the live stream.
He said Daphnia.
Yeah, Daphnia are breeding like crazy, and the amphipods, the scuds, the gammarus, whatever you want to call them, in with the Daphnia are exploding too. And lots of people are buying them, so that makes me happy. Breeding nerite snails, ever done it? Oh, well, I think I may have done it once by accident. Well, I've had them produce the veligers, which are like the free-swimming larvae, more than once, but I think I may have one young nerite snail in one of my Opaiula tanks. So we'll see. I'm not sure. I'm still waiting to see if that is going to work or not.
Okay. Potato Drip says, I'm so excited for the mail tomorrow. I'm getting 25 Goliath hummingbird moth larvae.
Wow.
Red-tail fairy shrimp eggs, eggs of 2 clam shrimp species, ostracod eggs, and beaver-tail fairy shrimp eggs. That is quite an order.
Yeah, very nice.
Are you going to hatch them all at once, or are you going to do some one time, and then when you're done with those, do some others?
Let's see. I've hatched all of those but one. I have not done the Goliath hummingbirds. I will be right back in the ship.
I'll get it.
Okay. The microphone's Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Who was supposed to be here earlier.
On the kitchen counter. Okay, sorry, everyone. That was that was kind of funny. You got to see that all at the same time. That was like live and unedited. Let's see. So going back, trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so Brandon guy's in here too. Nice, welcome. So you're going to hatch them all in the brush and egg to tank, Potato Drip says. Raised Blue Aquatic says, I have a question. I found a baby eastern fence lizard, and its spine all the way to its tail is crooked. It's a wild lizard. I found him on the road upside down. Do you have any tips to help me help it? Ooh. How responsive is it? Paul Ortiz, excellent. Okay, let's see. So this eastern fence lizard, and how responsive is it? This is probably going to give us an idea of whether or not it's possible to say, but the fact that its spine is crooked doesn't sound good, and the fact that it's upside down is even worse. But does it respond to any stimuli, and how does it respond? That will give me some idea. Let's see. He's doing a lot better than yesterday, Raised Blue Aquatic says. That's good. Is he still upside down, or it is still upside down, or what's going on? And Veranid Guy says, I followed your advice on the 40-gallon aquarium and have had 0 losses. A mini cycle that ended in 3 days. Ammonia didn't go above 0.25%, and nitrite never went above 0. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad it worked for you. It's nice when it can go smoothly like that. Really glad to hear that. Slick Adventure says, my blue tongue lizard looks really sick and not eating. Ooh, it's not eating. What is...
Can we attach pictures?
Yeah, I don't think they can attach pictures here.
Oh.
But I would like to know more about it. What's the situation? Yeah, what are the symptoms? What's your setup like? What is your hot spot? Yeah, like Little Bob is asking, what's the temperature? They do need pretty warm basking spots. They need like close to 100-degree basking spots. So Raised Blue Aquatic says yes about the eastern fence lizard. Says yes, it is more responsive to my voice, and he is not upside down anymore. He's running around a lot now, but I'm concerned about the spine. Okay, well, the fact that he's running around a lot and is responsive is great. What kind of setup do you have, men? That will, that can help us figure out if you're providing the proper conditions for him to do better. Then that's really important. And then maybe the spine is important, but we need to make sure the other things are taken care of first. And then there could be a lot of causes for that. It could be, for example, if it's found outside, I don't really suspect metabolic bone disease. It could be an injury. It sounds more like an injury in this particular case. Let's see, Potato Derp, did you see my comment about how huge the Goliaths get? Female Goliath hummingbird moth has almost a half-foot wingspan. Wow. Wow, that is a huge moth. That would be cool to see. So I would love to see that. I don't think I've ever seen one that big myself, but that would be neat. Raised Blue Aquatic says, I have a heat lamp and heat pad. I gave him some small bugs and water and a good hiding space. Good. Sounds like those are all good things. I believe the eastern fence lizards respond well to UVB. Is the heat lamp UVB or just a heat lamp? That's a good question. So Slick Adventures about the blue tongue skink says, has a basking spot, a lot of hiding spots and hiding places, but I think I got it from a bad seller. That can happen. Brandon Guy says, what are the temperatures in the enclosure for the blue tongue skink? That is important. And okay, so that's when Slick Adventures has a chance to get back on us on that, we can find out. So, and Raised Blue Aquatics is checking right now to make sure to see what kind of light is on the setup. Yeah, thermometer is a good idea. I generally use a temp gun so I can test the temperature all the time. And Verandid Guy says, what is the blue tongue skink doing? Is it just lethargic and not eating? Is it vomiting? Does it drink a lot of water?
Potato Derp says, I'll be sure to record the moths from day 1 to adulthood for you.
That would be cool to see. That would be nice when you post that on your channel.
Bob. Sorry, I had to get the door a couple of times. It's kind of
been a crazy
night
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
let's see.
Roger Dedham
says, will scuds eat aquarium plants? I want to add them to my planted aquarium for a cleanup crew.
Well, in my experience, if you have fish that can eat them, the fish will keep the scuds at a low enough population that the plants are fine. It's not an issue. If you have, like, it's a shrimp only planted tank, or it's a tank with really tiny fish like celestial pearl danios that can't really eat the scuds, then the scuds can go crazy and eat the plants. And the thing is, people say, you can limit food to limit the population of scuds, but if you have a whole bunch of lush, happy aquarium plants in the tank, then you have an unlimited food source until the plants are gone. So, yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, I keep losing the chat. Okay. Slick Adventures.
I feed it some garden snails, crickets, and some mealworms.
Okay, and he's talking about the blue-tongued skink. Those are all good foods from what I understand. However, doesn't constitute, maybe you can balance the diet a little more. One thing, do you supplement those with vitamin mineral supplements? That's one question. And then also, typically skinks get a smaller proportion of vegetable and fruit part of their diet, but they do, the blue-tongued skinks specifically, but it's good for them to have, depending on who you talk to, you know, between 40 and 20% vegetable matter, something like that. So are they getting, is your skink getting those?
Petrol says, I got scuds in a green water bucket. Do they need aeration to breed?
Okay, in my experience, they don't need aeration to breed, but they will breed more quickly if they have it.
I want to know who the little bird is.
The little bird is Twilly. For some reason, the chat just froze. I can't get it to come back up. Just a second, folks. Sorry, I'm going to have to shut it off and shut it back on again. I mean, turn it back on again. Now I'm going to try it. Okay, did that work? Oh, I lost our chat. No, it's back. Okay, there it goes. Okay. So the little bird is our budgie named Twilly.
He's in our 4,000 subscribers.
He's in our 4,000 subscribers video, and you can actually hear him talk.
He belongs to our daughter Gwen.
You can hear him say some English words. Right now he's kind of chattering, and there are English words in there, but they're kind of hard to tell. But yeah, our youngest daughter Gwen's bird. He's had him for a couple of years now, about
2 in December. He's almost 2.
He's almost 2, yeah. So
he's in his cage for the night, but we happen to be doing the live stream in a slightly different location.
Yep.
So he's contributing.
Indeed. So Little Bob says,
skinks are omnivorous, aren't they? Or blue-tongued skinks anyways?
Blue-tongues are omnivorous with a slight balance. The balance is slightly in favor of protein-based food, but they do, yeah, they are omnivorous.
Okay. Raised Blue Aquatics. Okay. For night, I have a 25-watt moonlight bulb, and I have a UVB tropical bulb.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty good, because they tend to be lizards that spend a lot of time in the sun, so something with a lot of UV will be good. And Slick Adventure says,
yeah, I added the protein stuff to all its food.
Okay. And does it get calcium or other vitamins specifically? Protein is good, but wondering about that. And Verenid Guy says, Slick, do you feed any vegetation or fruit? No idea what the temperatures are. That could contribute to lizards' overall health. Definitely.
Little Bob says, yeah, my uncle has a blue tongue and it doesn't much like meat. It's just an oddly picky skin.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness, and the phone is ringing.
Getting a lot of that interesting things going on tonight. So Slick Adventures says,
I just got 2 axolotl and they started to breed, and I got like 100 axolotl. Wow.
Wow, 100 baby axolotls.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Well, when they're little like that, some good things to feed them are, you want very small things like young Daphnia, newly born Daphnia. People use baby brine shrimp, things like that. You can use microworms. Those are good too. So those are some things you can use. So Verenid Guy says,
I had a Tannenbar blue tongue that ate everything under the sun. The mess it would make with greens put my monitors and tegus to shame. And then Potato Derp says, Licky, my leopard gecko, stops eating sometimes. Isn't that normal behavior for a leopard gecko that's ovulating?
I've heard it can affect their appetite. I've heard it can. So I wouldn't worry about it too much as long as it gets out of it. Our leopard gecko has occasionally, just a couple of times, done that. I was not really interested in eating, and then a few days later she's fine and wants to eat again and has a perfectly good appetite. So, yep. And Slick Adventure says,
I also added the calcium to some of its food.
Okay, good. That is good. And is it getting D3 in the calcium as well? Okay. Yeah, a lot of people, Little Bob says Daphnia seem to be the best for axolotls, and they are definitely one of the better foods. And the nice thing about Daphnia, if you have a larger species of Daphnia, is that they will, they'll eat them even if they're big. I mean, larger ones. larger axolotls will still eat the Daphnia.
So they can eat them for longer.
Yeah,
that's good.
Like our axolotl will eat Daphnia, and it's a big one. It's not full grown yet, but it's probably, well, I don't know, 8 or 9 inches long, and it will eat Daphnia at its size. So that's an advantage of having a nice Daphnia culture.
Winry still likes to eat the Daphnia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Yep. So.
And she's a pretty good sized axolotl.
Yep.
Potato derp. It must be caused by ovulating. Sometimes when it's extra warm, her abdomen is a bit larger, and she stops eating for a few days.
And that could be true. Okay, so Slick Adventure says.
I have no idea.
And that's talking about the. Yeah, I said, is there D3? Is there D3 in the calcium supplement? So you can get calcium supplements with vitamin D3 in them, and you can get them without them. Typically, the ones without them are for use with reptiles that get a lot of natural sunlight or a high amount of UVB light. And if the D3 is in there, you can get different levels of D3 depending on how much UVB they get, and also whether or not they're nocturnal or not. Because a lot of the nocturnal reptiles can benefit from UVB light, but don't necessarily need it as much as, you know, a lizard or other reptile that spends a lot of time in the sun. So that's what I was referring to.
What do we got? Brine guy's asking, does she lay infertile eggs?
Talking about the leopard gecko, Potato derp's leopard gecko.
Since he was a weird lizard, I went outside to find small bugs for him. I'm going to try to buy him some flightless fruit flies. Will that work? That was Ray's blue.
Ray's the little eastern fence lizard.
He's talking about eastern fence.
Ray found a fence lizard outside, and it seemed to be damaged, but it's doing better now. And I don't know. That's a good question. It depends on how big the fence lizard is. I've fed fence lizards pretty small bugs in the past, from what I remember. You could try the fruitless fruit flies. I think, yeah, if it's too big, like Varanid guy is saying, they may not be interested in them. But it's worth a try. Oh, Dinosaurs Terror World is here.
Oh, hello.
Nice.
Let's see. I think we missed a couple.
Did we?
Do you know how to make your axolotl metamorphosis? They don't. That's part of the point of an axolotl, is they, left to their own devices, they stay that way.
Yeah, and I've heard that by increasing the temperature and doing certain other things, you can actually stimulate them to metamorphosize, but it's bad for them. It actually can. They usually don't survive very long when you do it.
So you don't really want to do that. If you want a salamander, just go get a salamander.
Yeah, tiger salamander is very similar. Okay, so. All right, so Potato Derp about leopard gecko says.
About her leopard gecko. She's very young, and she definitely showed signs of having eggs in her, but they got reabsorbed.
Okay, so pretty young gecko.
She hasn't actually laid anything yet.
Okay, and okay, so Fresno Cascabel is saying hatchling fence lizards, sorry, can easily take pinhead crickets. Okay, and this, he is as big as my pinky, so bigger than a hatchling then. And I have small hands. What other food would work?
Then, yeah.
Which could take small crickets, not full-grown crickets, but small, like baby crickets. And probably the flightless fruit flies at that size would still be interesting to them. Okay.
Dinosaur Terror World, how many species of spider do you have?
Actually, 0.
We don't keep spiders. Sometimes if we get a jumping spider in the house, we'll just keep it for observation for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. That's kind of my...
Yeah, that's about Kelly's tolerance for spiders.
Yeah.
Oh, and Slick Adventure says, I don't have salamanders in New Zealand. Ah, okay.
But you don't really want to make it metamorphosis, because then you
it'll actually shorten its life. It'll actually shorten its life. So, yeah, it's probably best not to do that. And... yeah. Okay, where are we now? Oh, Nancy C is in the house too. Welcome, Nancy C. Oh, they're talking about that. Welcome, Nancy C. Who? Oh, I missed one. I think. The Rented guy says,
Thank you for doing this again. You are definitely some of the better animal personalities on YouTube.
Thank you. Well, we'll try to improve that. I feel like we still feel a little weird in front of the camera. I need to let more of my personality out. But I appreciate that. We'll keep trying. Yeah, and learning the format flow, that's tricky, but we'll try. And okay, Little Bob's going to be right back. Ray's Blue Aquatics. Okay, thanks a lot. Also, when he tries to run, he runs sideways a little. Interesting.
Is that the fence lizard?
It's a fence lizard. So there's definitely something going on.
Or
Not necessarily. I think there's something wrong.
Just got a few little birth defects.
They're saying there's something wrong with the spine, but so it's interesting.
A little reptile chiropractor.
Yeah. And Potato Derp says,
I think you said before that you have experience with red tails. In best condition, how long does it take for red tail fairy shrimp to mature?
They're really fast. I've grown them a few times. I think 3, maybe more times. I'm not sure exactly. And they, like a week and a half, and they're grown. They're full grown in my condition. They're mature in a week and a half or so. If I remember correctly, it has been a few years, to be honest, but I've done it a few times.
Pretty fast.
Yeah, it's about a week and a half, I think.
Have we always done it in the summer? We haven't ever done it in the winter.
I'm not sure. I usually do it in the summer, though. It's easier to do vernal pool organisms in the summer, generally. Okay.
Slake Adventures. Do you know how to hatch brine shrimp?
Okay. Yes. I've hatched brine shrimp many times. When we raised our bettas, this is the time I did it like twice a day or something like that. Did it very often, at any rate. And yeah, it's pretty easy. Basically, the easiest way to do it is get a bottle, like a plastic bottle, like one you buy water in, 2 of them, and you cut the top off of one, and then you set the other one upside down and cut the bottom off of that. And then use an air line, drill a hole in the top part of that inverted bottle, and stick an air line, a rigid air line through it, and then attach that to an air line so that bubbles quite a bit. And then put in some salt. You can use rock salt if you want. I usually put, for like I guess it's an 8-ounce water bottle, I usually put about a teaspoon of rock salt or marine salt, whichever one I have around handy. And then usually a pinch of baking soda is good. Sometimes I just use the baking soda. You can just use a teaspoon of baking soda and skip the salt. You can do that. It sounds funny, but you can. And then you let it run. It's nice for it to be pretty warm. Around 80 degrees or so is helpful. And then, but it's not exactly necessary, but it helps. And then you let it sit for 24 hours or so, and then you hatch it. That's how it works. I often would decapsulate the eggs. It makes it easy to deal with. But yeah, I guess those are the basics. Hopefully that helps.
Did you do video on it?
I haven't done a video on it. I've taken footage on it, but I haven't finished the video on it yet.
Did we have a podcast episode about it?
Yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure we did.
Podcast episodes. Check the descriptions of them. You should be. Do they know how to find the podcast episodes?
I don't know. You can just go to aquarimax.com//podcasts.
And they're all
and then you can do a search too.
Scroll through.
You can do a search for Aquarimax and brine shrimp on Google. Over 300 episodes, yeah.
So.
Okay, so.
But yeah, do a search for Aquarimax brine shrimp, and it'll probably easier to find it than.
Yep.
Scrolling through all the podcast descriptions.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Varanid guy, not animal related. Out of the several places that you have lived, how would you rate Utah? No, we got to get back to the comment.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Yeah,
we are looking into moving out of California for various reasons. Where in California are you at? I was from like Sierra Nevadas, so.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I was originally from the Bay Area, and then we moved out to Sierra Nevadas, and then I moved out to Utah for school. How would we rate Utah?
Well,
Utah's a little complicated.
It is. There's a lot of nice things about it. It's a pretty safe place and stuff.
It's a good place to raise kids.
Good place to raise kids.
You've got kids.
There's a lot of interesting natural things to see, like national parks and state parks and things that are really beautiful.
You've got everything from mountains to total desert.
Yeah, and it's not super expensive in terms of cost of living, but
definitely cheaper than California.
Yeah, but I would say the winters are awful, and I don't like them.
Yeah, definitely not as good as California there.
And it's the second most arid state in the country.
Yeah, so bring lots of lotion.
So there you go.
It's cold. It's cold in
the winter
Utah.
Gets really cold.
Growing season is short.
And often we'll have a winter where it gets to like 6 degrees Fahrenheit.
January,
like a day or two.
Month, you just don't get back up to freezing. You're just under freezing the whole time.
Yeah.
And since most of where what we call the Wasatch Front, which is where most of the population in Utah lives, is basically a valley between these two mountain ranges. And because of the air pressure and stuff, all of the air gets trapped in the valley. And so all the pollution from the cars and stuff is all stuck in there for weeks at a time, and it's nasty.
It's true.
It's
The
so
inversions, they're
gross.
awful. So there's our little summary of Utah.
But there's some really nice things too. You know, culture-wise, it can be culture shock.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how deep we want to get into this in the podcast. You can message us on his YouTube channel. We can give you more information.
Yeah.
But
there's a little summary though. Mm-hmm. So Potato Derp asks what the mature size for the red-tailed shrimp is. I think it's close to an inch. I think it's a little under an inch. Powerful Lens is in the house. That's cool. Powerful Lens, sorry. That came out weird. Ray's Blue Aquatics.
We don't have a Google Plus.
We do actually have an Aquarimax Google Plus.
We do?
Yes.
See, I don't even know these.
I don't check it that often, but we do have one. You can also just email me at info@aquarimax.com. You can email me the picture. Let's see. Oh, wow. There's so many questions. I'm sorry. We're trying to catch up, and we're not going to get them all, but we're going to kind of try. So Mon Veng says, hello from Alaska.
That's a new one, yeah?
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Slick Adventures, do you know how to care for baby? Where'd it go?
Do you know how to care for baby?
Yeah, I can do human
baby
babies.
Wild.
Long-finned eel.
That is one I have no idea on. I wish I did. I'm not even sure which species that is. So that's interesting, though.
About that one too.
Yeah, interesting.
Southern California, just north of San Bernardino in the high desert, but I grew up in Riverside.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot colder here.
Yeah.
2 kids, they're a big reason to leave California. That's true. It is. It's in the schools are in general, I would say it's easier to find a decent school than in a lot of other states. But yeah, it's generally a good place for kids because there's lots of kids around to make friends with. Families are usually a pretty big deal in Utah. So you got lots of kids around usually wherever you go. So they have friends.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm getting behind here. Trying though. So Slick Adventure says, come to New Zealand, lovely wildlife. That reminds me of that Monty Python skit. What does it say?
Beautiful plumage.
But I would love to come to New Zealand, and
that would be.
I want to meet the Nautinus geckos. They are so cool.
Irish summer is below freezing for a month at a time. I think you're teasing me. It's like 65 degrees in Ireland all year round.
Okay, Ray's Blue Aquatics is going to see if he can tag us in a picture.
Okay.
And Potato Derp says,
since fairy shrimp grow after they mature, what's the biggest your red-tailed fairy shrimp got?
I think a little over an inch, maybe, but I can't remember for sure. Maybe right around there. Okay. All right.
Let's see. Petro, if you were to breed brine shrimp, how would you do it? I'd like to breed them instead of hatching them all the time. Do you have a video on that?
Oh, I haven't done a video on that, but I'll tell you what, I have bred brine shrimp that way, but it's not terribly efficient. I feel like it can be done, and I've done it, but and I know people who have set up a culture of them that is more efficient than ones that I've done, and so the ones that I've done, if you do it outside, it's not so bad. It's basically the same as Daphnia, but you put salt in the water. But you should use marine salt. Don't use rock salt or whatever. And you should set up aeration. Get as big a container as you can. You make sure it gets some natural sunlight, and you can throw some organic matter in there. A lot of people just use grass, or you can use like washed lettuce leaves or whatever, and throw that in and let it sit and kind of get some algae going. And then you put some brine shrimp eggs in there and hatch them. And if you do it outside and it's a big container, it's probably worth it. Make sure you don't use bath salts, right? That's true. But marine salt, intended for aquariums, yeah, use that. And they can do okay outside. If you're doing it inside, it's a lot more tricky, but you do need bright light and see if you can get some algae to grow in there. And if you can get them growing in the algae, you'll produce some, but the production won't be quite as good. But I've seen some people do it on YouTube. There's one user, YouTuber, Big Bear Husky Musher, I think, who has a pretty good video on it. Who does stuff better than, I mean, they do pretty good production, better than I've gotten indoors. But in my experience, Daphne are so much better to raise because they're so much more productive, so much easier. You can raise so many more in such a smaller space. You can use fresh water. You don't have to worry about that. So that's kind of what I've done. In general, I do Daphne instead.
Let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I'm trying to...
Sorry, I was going to look at that one about the marine copepods.
Oh, you don't use that. Yeah, we don't use Celsius. It's Fahrenheit.
Right. So 6 degrees is really cold.
It's cold.
But
so just think of it, we are routinely in the winter 10 to 20 degrees below freezing.
Yeah. Okay. Scowling Wolf, welcome, says,
I'm doing marine copepods, but my brine shrimp keep crashing. I will try lettuce.
And that is only if you got them out in the sun. I would say don't bother putting lettuce in if you do it in the indoors. It's not going to do what you want it to do. It would only work in the, in the outdoors where you got the sun hitting it, and it's going to generate some infusoria. That's the idea for them. But you don't have to, it won't work so well if you're doing it indoors with the lettuce. You'd probably be better off either using like a powdered algae product or a liquid algae product or whatever, something like that. So there you go. Hopefully that helps.
Did he just say he's in Wales?
Who's in Wales?
Scowling Wolf.
Oh, Scowling Wolf is in Wales. Yeah.
We have a daughter whose name is Gwen, and she's trying to learn Welsh on this language learning site online.
Duolingo.
So Duolingo.
She's enjoying it.
She's having a good time with it.
Because her name is the Welsh form of Gwen.
Yeah.
Gwen Huvar. Hopefully we're pronouncing that right.
You can tell us.
Yeah.
Little Bob, that would kill a person. Yes, we die every winter. Seriously, like every time January hits and we look at each other and we say, why do we live here? And then spring comes and the mountains wake up and we go up to the mountains and we say, oh yeah, this is why we live here.
Yep.
Powerful lamps, do you use only live foods? Oh, come back, comment.
Oh, sorry.
I wish they would leave them.
He said, do you use live foods or do you use some prepared, is what he said.
For
the fish, I think.
All of the fish?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. Yep.
You end up giving live food to pretty much all the fish, don't you?
I do give live foods, but I also use prepared foods.
They all disappeared again.
Yeah, all our comments are gone, so we're hoping they'll pop back up in just a second. But I'm sorry about that, everyone. I'm not sure where they went or why they did that.
You push that bottom button. This one.
Which one?
And then you unpush
it. I already did that once, but I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's so naughty. See, even Twilly is saying that.
Maybe they're coming back. I'm sorry. I don't know where they all went. But yeah, we do use prepared foods as well as live foods. I found, in fact, here's an interesting thing I've noticed with my multis, that if I just give the babies microworms and I give the adults prepared food, the baby fish or the fry do not grow as fast as if I give them prepared food and microworms.
Get the whole.
I think there's some key nutrients maybe that are not quite as prevalent in the microworms, and so when I give them the powdered flake food along with the microworms, they grow really fast. And if I don't give them that, it doesn't work. They do okay, but they don't grow as fast. I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but the chat's totally gone.
We're about at 35 minutes.
We are. And I apologize that there were some more messages and we missed some of them because we weren't able to get to them all. I'm going to try it one more time to see if this will bring them up. And we'll see how that goes. And then we'll see. But we may have to end early. Well, it's not early, actually. It's 35 minutes or so.
And before we got to get to everybody.
We didn't get to everybody. That's what I mean. Yeah. And we apologize. But you can always comment on this
and we can try and
post
answer that.
on the YouTube video itself. You can post it, and I will try to answer your questions if you have any additional questions.
If you want to, put a comment in there about the idea of moving to Utah. Like, I don't know, or send him your email address or something. We can give you a more long-winded answer.
Yeah, more involved answer if you want. But really sorry about not being able to answer any more chats because they're gone. I hope they come back. But thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the live stream today, please hit the like button really quickly, and we will be back on Friday with another video, 4:30 Mountain U.S. time.
Oh, they're back.
Oh, everybody's back. Okay.
It's like the power just came back.
I don't know if we're gonna try to go back a little bit here. Okay, so Petro says, "Thank you very much. I'll do it outside." This is about the brine shrimp.
Puerto Rico.
I'm in Puerto Rico, and we get tropical temperatures all year long. I'll look into doing Daphnia too.
I hope you're safe after all the storms.
Yeah.
I hope all of you and your critters and your family are okay.
And I do think that will be great for you could probably get some really good Daphnia going on outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
So, yeah.
Let's see.
And
Potato Derp, I'm so glad you answered all my questions. Google's either not clear with the results or it's completely unreliable. You just never know what you're going to get on the internet because anybody can say anything. So.
That's true. And I try to be careful not to say just anything. I try to think about what I say.
You're pretty good at it. I think. I'm a little biased. Fresno, are either of you biologists or work in a science-related field? Russ is basically a biologist without the piece of paper.
I have worked in biology-related fields. I worked in a zoo, and I've worked at
a children's museum
where I was doing science presentations. So I worked in scientific fields. I don't currently. I'm an educator, but yeah, I've always been interested in biology and studied about it and everything. So Ray's Blue Aquatics is sending me
he
tagged
you on Google Plus, so we'll have to go look at that. Yeah. Let's see. Banana worms are great.
I do like banana worms. I've used them as well. They're good stuff. Oh, you need to say surface area.
Oh my gosh!
What?
No, I forgot. Little Bob, I'm so sorry. Nosta! She taught us that one. Scowling Wolf said Nosta. That means good night, right?
Yeah.
Our daughter's been using that one.
Yeah, we learned that one.
I don't know if I'm saying it right. Wait, she's coming to the room right now. We have a person on here who's from Wales, and they said Nosta. Ooh, cool. Okay, sorry.
Well, we
got all excited there.
Yep. Okay. Well,
wait,
they died again. Oh, there it goes.
Somebody reminded me, Little Bob, female aqua. Didn't you say you'd do a little dance? I totally forgot.
She can't right now though. She hurt her knee.
My knee. That's why we're doing this in a different spot so I can keep my knee elevated.
Elevated, but when her knee gets better, we'll have to do it.
Maybe we should just post one of my videos or something for them.
I think you have to do a specific one.
A specific one?
Yeah.
Killing a surface area. Surface area.
Thank you. And Fresno Cascabel says, which zoo? Well, I worked in Utah's Hogle Zoo, and I also volunteered before that in the Honolulu Zoo in Hawaii when we lived there. And that's part of what got me the job at the Hogle Zoo. Potato Derp says,
those who want to breed brine shrimp breed brachinecta instead. It's much faster and easier. Get them from Arizona Fairy Shrimp. They sell the best species.
I think that's a good idea, and I've heard of other people doing that too, just as food, raising like the red-tailed fairy shrimp.
Easier to do.
They're easy to do. You don't have to worry about salt water and so on.
So no dance.
Not this time, just because her knee is hurt, but we'll do it in the future. Okay.
But I really am a dancer. You're not even gonna believe me anymore. We'll have to do something. If it's better, or I have a performance on Saturday. It's just like an informal outside thing. So if we film it, maybe Russ will put it up in one of the comments for you guys, or put a link to it to one of the comments.
Maybe I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping my knee will be better by then.
I'm hoping your knee will be better very soon.
I'm sorry, Little Bob.
So everyone,
Honolulu Zoo.
Was Sean McEwen at the Honolulu Zoo when you were there? Dang it. I'm not sure. It
was a long time.
It's been over 10 years. Yeah. It's been over 10 years, and
we remember the names of the animals.
And I do remember the name of some of the people, but right now that name is not ringing a bell for me right now. It's possible. I mostly worked in the children's zoo when I was there. So I did know some of the other people, but
a nice collection of plowshares.
Yeah.
At the zoo?
I don't know.
You said you work in education.
Indeed, I do.
Yep. He works at the university.
Yep, I work at the University of Utah. Well, I think our time is about up. Tortoises.
Plowshares are tortoises?
Plowshare tortoises. I see what I was talking about. Yeah.
Like I'm picturing, like using a tortoiseshell to plow your fields, and
Yeah.
like that doesn't seem very efficient.
I did feed one of the tortoises. There was a tortoise that was not on exhibit. Let's see, and some tortoises that were on exhibit that I fed in the children's zoo. One was named Gladys. I think she was a sulcata. She was blind, or he was blind. His name was Gladys, but he was a male tortoise, and he was blind, and he was off exhibit. And sometimes one of my jobs was to go collect browse for him, and I would also do that for the other tortoises. And I can't remember. Maybe they were redfoots. I don't remember the ones that were on exhibit in the children's zoo. But anyway. Um, Okay, everyone. I guess we've gone a little bit over time, and I need to be better about that. But
I don't think they mind so much.
okay, no, probably not. And anyone else find it annoying when someone says a tortoise is a turtle? Yeah, a lot of people get confused about that. It's very true. And then Ray's Blue Conic says, "Hey,
It's
thanks
not
for
as
the help."
annoying as poisonous and venomous, though.
That's true.
That's
That's
more
that's
annoying.
even more annoying. Hey, thanks for the help. I hope I can save him. Me
Good luck. We
too.
hope so too.
And we'll check out the picture and see if there's anything we can do to help.
Mhm.
So it is time for us to cut out. We can cut out at 42 minutes about, which is pretty good
Because
because
42 is
42
like
is
the answer to the universe, right?
yeah.
Well, okay, wait. I gotta read that word. I'm
Okay.
still snarfled when my brine shrimp didn't grow. I think that's a fabulous word.
That is a nice word.
I think I'm pretty snarfled today myself.
That's true.
It was kind of a difficult day. I tried many environments, and each time they remained now ply.
Interesting.
Did I remain now ply today?
No, definitely
Because
not.
snarfled and now. I mean, I know what now ply is, but
Yeah.
other people don't. You could use it.
That's true. Well, I would say, have you tried them outside? Just try that. See how it goes. Well, we should end now.
Holy cow,
Oh, an
there's
escaped
cricket
cricket
crawling
on the
across the
ground.
floor.
I better go get it.
Death.
And thank you all for joining us very much, and we'll see you later. And
Bye, guys.
may the fish
Be with you.